Hey guys.
No, baby. Everybody else is
Aaron should be on soon.
I forgot y'all can hear me.
Hey Jen.
You heard me say,
Aaron should be on in just a minute and we'll get started. What? Yeah.
I hear you. It's in there.
Well, no more Jen. Okay. I'm going to the room, so you guys stay out of there.
Hey, both you two on the couch. Come on.
Okay, Erin just messaged me. She's getting on right now. Let me get my daughter's blanket because it freaked out. Okay, I'm going to mute the call.
Just gonna message you that.
Yeah, I can hear it too. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Oh, I still hear somebody. Mute all. I think everybody's muted now. Erin, I'm going to unmute you. There we go. Okay, you're unmuted.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Hi, guys.
What's up?
Hello. Okay, so this is our newbie Zoom training. And
I'm gonna start a chat with everybody.
you what?
I'm gonna go ahead and start a chat so that people see that they can ask questions via this chat.
So guys, if you haven't ever used Zoom before, there's a chat button. Erin just typed in it. I'm not sure where it's at on your cell phone. I think it's up in maybe the top right-hand corner from your cell phone. Maybe you can click on some like buttons that drop down a menu to be able to see your chat. But then if you're on your computer, it's down below. And you can just type in questions and we can go over anything that you guys want to talk about. Erin, did you want to kind of start off with what we were talking about with Stephanie's call? And
Yes, and I'm sorry I did not
no,
send it.
you're fine.
Okay, so first of all, what I did, and I know that Ashley posted it as well. This Zoom is specifically for people who are either pushing to promote. It's the 21st of the month, and I should have counted out the days. Do we have exactly 10 days, or there 31 days?
10 days.
So we have 10 days times 24 hours-ish. I know that's hit or miss because we're at the end of today, but let's say that. So we have, 240 hours left, right? 10 days times 24. oh, 24, 240 hours. So the Zoom is for the next 240 hours of our lives, basically. It's for what it means to finish a month strong. Whether you are promoting, so whether you are going Ruby or you are pushing to get yourself to 400 BV, if that's your goal, or whether you're pushing for a $20,000 diamond bonus or a double diamond bonus or whatever the case may be. I did a similar call to this last month because we have so many new people on our team. I know from top to bottom, from Ashley's team to my team to Lindsay's team to Lauren's team, tons and tons of new people. And so I know that a lot of you have not been around for one, busy season in general, and two, end of month. And so we just wanted to give you a picture of what it really takes to get through an end of month, what it takes to earn a $1,000 bonus and a $2,000 bonus and a $20,000 bonus, and to build up for the following month. So I'm just going to say really quickly before we get to like logistics, we're going to give you very specific tips and tricks. So I want you to get out your notebooks, get out your cell phones if you want to take notes on it, whatever the case may be, because Ashley and I have been through many, many, many promotions. We know what we're doing. We know how to get you through the nitty gritty, and that's what we're going to go over tonight. But first, I just wanted to go over just some concepts of what I've been seeing and what I'm feeling from my team. So these bonuses, you guys, they're big, okay? And I don't think you understand that when we joined this business, the Ruby bonus was unheard of. The Emerald bonus was literally non-existent until this year. I did not, I wasn't even offered a bonus like that. I was offered a $10,000 diamond bonus if I hit it in 3 calendar months. That was the bonus available, and that was something that was so amazing. Since then, we didn't start getting the Ruby bonuses until last year. This year, you get a one-time, all-in-one paid bonus of $1,000 if you go Ruby. So I don't even know if you understand what that means. That means that you could be in this business for 1 month and make just as much as a first-time diamond. You know what I'm saying? You could make $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 in your first month of a business that you've done totally on your cell phone. With Emerald, the Emerald bonus is $500 paid out over 4 months. So I just want to reiterate how awesome. Hey, Ashley, can you remute people again?
Yep. Okay, there you go.
Okay. How awesome this is. And again, here's what we learned in church this week, and I loved it. And then Liz Barton posted something in her page, and I'm going to read it to everybody. What we learned in church this week was that you have to look at the big picture. You can't just be a small picture person. You have to think of, what am I going to do for the next 240 hours that are not only going to affect this month, but they're going to affect the following 6? Because you think, I think that people that stop believing in themselves too soon might think, well, $1,000 is $1,000, but it's too far away from me. It's too far. I have 2 boxes to fill. I have 3 distributors to sign. All of my potentials have gone dark on me. I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of that on my team. I'm seeing a lot of, nobody's responding to me, but don't worry, I won't give up. No, you are giving up. If that's the first thing I hear out of your mouth, you are giving up. My goal for you is to be a big picture person, because here's what I want to tell you. If you get the Ruby bonus and you can tell people that you made a $1,300 paycheck, do you know how many people need $1,300? They need it. Do you know how many people have been watching you and not liking your posts and not liking your posts about your business? They haven't responded to you, but they will respond. So what if $1,000 turns into a, bigger bonus the next month, or it helps you find your next runner? We get a lot of complaints about, well, none of my team is working. I just don't know how I'm going to do it. If you want to get this done, you'll get it done. It's just as simple as that. I'm seeing a lot of people who are just going through the motions, as bad as that sounds. And my thought for you is that if I want this more than you, if I'm bugging you, if I'm asking you, if you're still going for it for the bonus, or if you're still pushing for it, or I know your chart better than you, that's very scary. Okay. So be a big picture person and think about not only this $1,000 and what you could do with it, or this $2,000 and what you could do with it, but the next 6 months, because you might be attracting the rock star that you've been praying for the last 3, just by finishing out the next 10 days. You can do anything for 10 days. You can do anything. You can work an extra 2 hours at night and get a little bit less sleep for 10 days. Anybody can do that. You know, you can get up an hour earlier for 10 days. You can sit on your lunch break, and instead of chit-chatting with your friends or scrolling on Pinterest, you can do this for 10 days. So that's just what I wanted to say there. And the second piece of it went along with a post that Liz did. My church talked about this. I'm getting a little sidetracked because I wanted to find her post too. But my church talked about how we value things more when we've earned them, or we've worked with them, or we have been the key part of it. So like our pastor talked about how he's like, I love your kids, and you know, in God's eyes, we're all equal and we all love each other the same. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the night, my kids are the ones that I value because I've raised them. He told a story about his twins that had started off with some really big learning disabilities because they were very premature. They had some seizures. They had this, they had that. And throughout the years, they've just improved and improved and improved and improved. And he's worked and he's worked and he's worked and he's worked. So they're 8 years old and they're performing in school. And they were told from the beginning of their lives that they would never catch up, that they were going to be basically learning disabled for their whole lives. So he gets them at their 8 years old. And he just starts crying. And you think about your own children, and that's the emotional connection that you have with them, because they're your babies. You know, they're what you have raised. They're what you have stayed up late to, you know, feed and take care of. They're the ones that you've gotten up early for. Not for my kids. You know, you might look at the inside out and be happy for whatever is happening to us, or sad for whatever is happening to us. But you're going to care the most about things that you value and things that you've worked on. So if I care about your business more than you do, there's a problem there. Do you know what I'm saying? The more you work at this, the harder you work, even the harder that this journey is for you, the more stake you have in it. Do you know what I mean? And so when you earn that $1,000, when you earn that $2,000, you're going to be proud of that. I've had a lot of people ask me lately about if I'm going to place under them, or that they just don't feel like they have enough support. They don't feel like they know what they're doing. They need more guidance, or they need more Facebook posts to use, or they need more messages. And gosh, you know, when you see stuff like that, what that means is that you're probably just not valuing this as much as you could. And so I just want everybody to think about that. Think about how much you really care about this. And it doesn't have to be about wraps. It doesn't have to be about defining gel. It doesn't have to be about hair, skin, nails. But how much do you value whatever is your why? How much do you value whatever it is that you're shooting for? Because if you care a lot and you take ownership of it and you run with it, then when you achieve that goal at the end of the month, nobody can take that away from you. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to do a little bit of tough love tonight. I'm just going to talk through a post that Liz did today, and I loved it. So here's the quote.
You want me to post it? I have the quote pulled up too. I can post it. So
yeah,
okay.
Post it.
There you go.
Because you can't make somebody get it. Effort is a reflection of interest, and you can't force them to see that it's worth it. Be wise enough not to waste your time, patient enough not to settle, and strong enough not to force them. Whatever is meant to be will be. This quote stopped me dead in my tracks. Effort is a reflection of interest. Amen. How bad do we want it? How bad do they want it? We can't force it. Just be there for our team and new DTs when they're ready. So I just want to say that as we get into this end of month logistics, you know, how do we get through the next 10 days? If you want it bad enough, you will go get it. If you want it bad enough, you will message 10 more people tonight. You will blitz somebody tomorrow. You will stay up an extra 30 minutes. You'll do what it takes, and you'll do what you have to do. And so you're who I'm talking to tonight. You're who we are giving tips to. The team of yours, if they're not on here, you know what? You can't force it on them. If they're not watching the videos, if they're not messaging, you can give them all the information that you possibly can. But at the end of the day, you can't make them do something that they're not that interested in, that they don't value. That's just the nitty gritty of it. The last thing I just want to say really fast is that, you know, these are the moments where on Zooms like this, I always think like, oh God, what is everybody thinking? Like they're all going to get off here and like hate my guts. But the thing is that the reason that I say stuff like this is because like so I'm getting ready to have a baby, and today we had to go do a procedure that baby has been breached. So he's like way up in my ribs, and they had to do this procedure where they push him down and try to get him not breached. We had to be there at 7:00. We didn't leave there until like noon. It worked. My husband and I came home, and like now we're ready to walk it out. Like we're going to walk it out. We're going to walk this baby out because he's down where he's supposed to be. And, you know, I'm going to get on my birthing ball and I'm going to jump around and twirl around and do all this stuff. And that's like my life right now. But if I think about the last 9 months, like this pregnancy has been one episode after another. We've had so many specialist appointments, so many doctor's appointments, so much. There were 2 months where they told me not to do much because we had this weird bleeding thing. We've had so many things happen that if I were in a full-time job, I would have my job would have fired me by now. They would have found a reason that I wasn't there enough or that I wasn't performing well enough, so that they got around the pregnancy thing. My husband used to work nights, you guys. He used to be gone all the time. I would have had to go to these appointments by myself. You know, at 3:00 in the morning when we were 14 weeks along and I woke up in a bed of blood that's so disgusting, he might have been gone. So I say this stuff to you, and we get on these Zooms and we'll teach you how to do it. But if you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. But what I'm here to tell you is that I want that for you. I want that kind of freedom. Ashley's husband just retired from his job, you guys. There's nothing special about us. She didn't think that she could do this. She told me flat out that she quits most things that she does. Mm-hmm. So you just have to know that if you're not getting to where you want to be, make sure to look at what you're doing. Make sure to look at, you know, if you're actually following the guidance that people are giving you, or you're just kind of watching, because this business is going to run with or without us. You know, this business is going to hit $1 billion, whether our team is a huge part of it or not. We want you to be a huge part of it. I want you to be a huge part of it. I want people next year or in the next 6 months to say, oh my gosh, I get to spend this time going to doctor's appointments or spending time with my baby or etc. because I made it work. In March, I had 10 days and I was not even a ruby and I made diamond, you know, because in 10 days you can just totally blow this out of the water. So that was way longer than I meant it to be, but I just wanted to get really serious with you guys and say we only have 10 days. 10 days. Everybody has the same 240 hours left of the month. It's up to us what we make of it. So if you're close to Ruby and if you only finish out the month at Ruby, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so frustrated because you can get to Emerald. Mm-hmm. If you're so close to Emerald and you only finish at Emerald, damn it, push harder than that. Like go harder than that because you deserve it. Your team deserves it. Your family deserves it. Okay. So thousands and thousands of dollars are on the line. And let me just say one more time, when your leader is pushing you, like if I have a Ruby that goes Ruby with $1,000, that doesn't make me really any more money. It really doesn't. My people who are going Emerald, there is no bonus in it for me when you go Emerald. Mm-mm. A lot of the people that I'm working with, you're not personally enrolled for me. If you go Diamond, I lose money. So it really is not. There are big promotions on the line, don't get me wrong, but you're not just being shoved into this because your leader has a promotion on the line. You're being shoved into this because somebody believes in you and is pushing you so that you and her can bawl your eyes out when you get your paycheck. You know what I mean? This is what keeps us up late. This is why I'm strapped in a belly band and I'm going to go sit on a ball after this, try to get this baby down. You know what I mean? The joke is that like,
I'm hoping her water breaks on Zoom.
I'm like, 1 second. Yeah, right? My husband's like, what?
That's what I'm praying for, Erin.
Yeah, right? Okay. Okay, so how do we finish the month? Like, what do we do? What do we do for the next 10 days? Ashley, let's talk about that. I know that is Lauren's on here, right?
I haven't seen her, and they drove all the way home from Missouri last night, so she may have passed.
I see Lindsay in the car here. So let's just talk about last 10 days of the month when you have a huge promotion happening. What are you doing? What are you doing, Ashley? What are some key things that right now at 10 days out you're doing to make sure that you absolutely finish strong?
So mine really hardcore started in the last 2 weeks. I mean, this whole month I have just been balls to the wall, over the top, staying up late, figuring out. Sometimes, we get people that complain oh, my team's not doing this or my team's not doing that. This is your paycheck. This is your future. This is your freedom on the line. So don't sit back and wait for your team to do things. Take control of your business. And, I have people, you guys, if you saw, I went back and looked for some people on my team that have said I signed up so-and-so and they quit. And I went back and looked at my original triple diamond chart, which I don't even know how many people are on a triple diamond chart, a lot. And I have 3 people out of that entire chart that are still working this business. And I never lost a promotion. I've never let that defeat me or get me down. I just have taken control of my business. I've worked with my workers. And so the people that I have right now, I'm completely boxed for ambassador. My goal is to go ambassador in the next 10 days. But there's a lot of people, there's a lot of, dead boxes on my chart that I'm trying to get full and fix and get back in the business. And I went to their loyal customers and said, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm part of the It Works team that got you involved here. I saw you haven't ordered in a while. What can I do to help you? We've got a new awesome product. Can I recommend this to you? Or anybody that's on those hundreds lists that we talk about, creating a hundreds list. I have a 500s list. And I have the initial same list I started when Aaron signed me up 25 months ago. And I still go back to that very, those first 10 people. A lot of them I've signed. Some of them I haven't. There's a ton of people on that 500s list that I haven't signed, but I still go back and I use that same list. And every day I meet somebody new or talk to somebody new or get a new potential, I add them to that list. And then when I sign them, I cross them off. But I can go back and look at that list so I don't ever forget about people. And that is my list that I am hovered to on my kitchen counter right now. Hey, you told me 24 months ago you were interested in trying the greens and you still haven't tried them. I'm pushing for a huge promotion. Can you help me out? And, just reach out and ask for favors. Reach out and ask. You've got to ask people. They are not going to just come begging for you to, sign them up. You've got to ask. Just ask the question. What's the worst you're going to get? No. And the way that I look at no's are not no forever unless they block me. It's just no, not right now. And, that's fine. Just move on. But don't dwell on those people in the business that tell you no. Don't dwell on the people that sign you up and that you sign up in the business with and they don't do anything. They're kidnappers. Don't dwell on the fact that maybe the person that signed you up isn't, working the business anymore. This is your business. You've got to take responsibility for it. And this business can change your life, guys. Liz Barton, that Aaron read that quote from, I looked at my Time Hop today and I had a message or a post that I did on Time Hop exactly 2 years ago today that said, oh my gosh, an Ambassador Diamond just reached out to me and told me she was amazed by me. And that was Liz Barton. I was a Ruby 2 years ago. No Ruby bonus. I went Diamond this month 2 years ago, but I was a Ruby to start the month. And I skipped Emerald. I went straight from Ruby to Diamond. 2 years ago, I was a Ruby with an average, $500 paycheck. And this month I'm going Ambassador Diamond, the top of the company. And so that just comes to show you, are you willing to put in the work right now? Can you imagine 2 years from now making $30,000 a month? That's worth it. The job that you're going to and clocking in, I promise you're not going to get a $30,000 raise in the next 2 years unless you're, getting a new degree and new student loan debt and, just totally changing that's just not common. You're not going to get that. And so the ability that you have in this business is absolutely insane. The steps are easy. the business, plan, the business operation is easy, but it takes work. You've got to put in the time. You can't just aimlessly scroll Facebook and think that you're going to, claim that Ruby bonus. You have got to ask people. You've got to talk to people. You have to be consistent. Use the products so that way you're a product of the products. That's one of the biggest things I can tell you. Run your auto shipment and try products. Get products in your hand, get your own results. And something that we started doing, I had never done, I had drug my feet about it. I am not a big party person. Erin, built herself, to pretty much double all off parties. And that is not me. I am not a party person, but I want to be a party person. So last week I started a Wrap Wednesday in my house, and I'm posting about it, and had 8 distributors here last Wednesday and only 2 potentials. But guess what? Those 2 potentials, one signed up as a customer and one signed up as a distributor. It's worth it. Take the time out and get people, I'm going to mute it again.
Yeah, I don't know how people are unmuting themselves and then talking.
I don't know if it's when maybe somebody else signs in. Okay, I unmuted you again. But that's obviously, here comes one of my naked children. But that's obviously, something that worked. People wanted to see the products. They wanted to taste, touch, and feel. They got to see the new house that we built because of this crazy business. I just invited them into my house. They got to taste the greens. They got to taste the protein powder. They got to put wraps on. They got to put, defining. And if you don't have this stuff, try to get with a couple of people in your area, and you guys just team up and do it together. Do a, wrap party at somebody's house one night and somebody else's the next week, or
yep.
It's just, it's stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's thinking outside of the box. This inviting people into my house randomly this month, but I had to do it. I had to do something else to get that extra push and that extra volume coming in. So it's just, you got to step outside your comfort zone and do things that you wouldn't maybe normally do. And then they don't seem that bad once you do them.
Yep. Yep. It's the same thing with blitzing. It's the same, like you said, with parties. It's truly, the fact of the matter is, if you are, if you want to make it big in this business, if you want to go diamond, and if you want to get a big bonus, or if you want to go double, or if you want to go triple, and if something's not working, you have to fix it. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again if it's not working for you. There are so many ways to work this business. Parties are a way, like she said, to get the product on people. I never sell WOW on Facebook, but you get it in a party and you put it on people. Angel Geyser is a perfect example of that. She's doing parties so that she can get in front of people, and people are just signing up for the system, plus WOW, plus etc. If you are in a month where this is your promotion, or this is your team that you're leading, or if you have a bonus on the line, one thing that I've always lived by, and is my motto, and I heard you say, Ashley, is that I'm going to take 100% full responsibility. It's up to me to sign the most customers. It's my bonus. It's up to me to sign the most distributors. If I end the month and I end it complaining that my team didn't do enough, there's a problem there, because I should have done twice as much as my whole team. In my mind, I never want to work any less hard than my team, especially when it's my month. If you are pushing for Ruby and you have a couple of newbies, it's up to you to fill those last couple of boxes, because you're the one that's getting the $1,000. It's up to you to fill those boxes if you're going emerald. Stay up late and sign those customers. It's going to be so worth it, and it's big picture worth it. It's not just this month. Missing a bonus is one thing, but missing the next 6 months of momentum that you could gain by being able to say to your best friend, listen, honey, you told me that this was a big scam. Well, I'm just going to show you it works check. Beep. Beep. What did you make last month on Pinterest? Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. Shoot. Okay. That sucks. That gives you the opportunity to say that. Like, again, just in case you didn't see it, there it is. That gives you that opportunity. Say the next month, I'm paying off my mortgage, or I'm paying my electric bill, or I'm paying this, or I'm paying that. Let this build your confidence. If you're struggling, if you have things happening in your life that are hard, a lot of us have a lot of hard things. Use this business to get past those things, to take one piece of the stress that's off of your plate. Do you know what I mean? Take that extra hour a night that you're sitting around feeling frazzled and just work, you know? I love that Ashley talked about contacting loyal customers. If you have loyal customers in spots where you need volume, do a contest for them. Do some specials for them if you have current customers. Ask them about their perk points. If they need to use their perk points, get them to order something. Present them some new product. You know, ask them to do a shared post for you. If you have been, you know, in our group for longer than 6 months, you know what a host a post or a shared post is. Ask them to have a party for you. Do a party every flipping day for the next 10 days. That's what I did. I mean, when I went diamond, same thing as Ashley. I was executive on March 31st or whatever date it was, and then diamond the next month. So I didn't ever hit ruby and I didn't ever hit emerald. I just went diamond. But it's because I never gave myself an option on an out. And then I just signed 14 distributors and filled them because I did a bunch of parties and I just didn't know anything else. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to do that. I didn't have people placing under me. I didn't have people charting me. I didn't have people telling me where to put people or I didn't have any of that. None of it. I just was flailing around. But I did a lot of parties and I filled a lot of boxes, and you can do that same thing. There's nothing special about it. It's just putting in the work. Last minute parties are actually easier than parties that are planned way ahead of time because people get, you know, busy.
And flat out just ask them, say, do me a favor, please come to my house, no obligation, just come over, please.
Yep.
Just support me and come show up.
Yeah.
And see what they say. Don't just say, hey, I'm having a party, would you come? Like, flat out ask them to support you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've loved seeing that. I have seen that lately. And I think that we kind of have, I think it was an eye opener, that Ashley Sinclair video where she talks about your 4 customers, asking for favors as far as making that your 4 customers that you sign, and truly like looking at it like your emergency list. Go back through that emergency list and ask. If your mom has not hosted a party for you, well, what the heck? Mom, host a freaking party for me. You know, Uncle George can host a party for you. Grandma Patty can host a party for you, and you can wow all of her little friends from the community center that she does exercises with. Do you know what I'm saying? Get creative. One of the things, I'll share this with the group. I'll post it. I did a call with Stephanie Doss last month, and I need to listen to it myself a couple of times. But what she said too was, you know, just like what Ashley said, this is your life. This is your dream. This is your freedom. Your promotion is not my freedom. Your promotion is your freedom. So, you know, again, pull out all the stops. Pull out, ask for favors. Tell people that you're going to babysit for them if they become a loyal customer. Last month, Natasha was baking cakes for people in exchange for them signing as a customer. You know, I mean, pull out all the stops. Call in all the favors. Call every single person you know. It's not just a message a couple of people. If I message you and say, how are things going? And you say, well, I had 2 potentials, but they've both gone dark. And that's all you got, then that is not enough. You're never going to promote. You're not going to get it. And I hate that that is so blunt, but gosh, guys, it's just not going to happen. If you say I have 2 people, but they're just not talking back, well, that's when you message 10 more people. That's when you get on the phone and ask those 2 people who they know. That's when you call Grandma Georgie and you ask her to host a party so that you can meet 5 more people. And those people get added to your hundreds list. So that the next time we message you, you say, oh my gosh, I've reached out to 37 people today. I have 14 potentials. I have 3 shared posts going, because that's worth a $2,000 bonus. You know, that kind of crazy activity. And it's not a sacrifice, guys. It's not. You're going to be spending your 24 hours of the day doing something. Might as well be this. It might as well be building something really big for your family. This is not something where, you know, you sign up for something and you hear that one person that made it really big. There's always that one person that made $1 million or that retired their family. Guys, I have 50 people that are personally in my life probably that have retired their husbands, that are making, we personally know a ton of people who have made this. It works is an opportunity that sometimes I don't even understand, and we forget that because we deal with the skepticism and we deal with private messages where people are like, I see people doing this all the time. No, you guys, no, there are so many millionaires. There are so many people who are making their mortgage payments because they gave this a shot. This is not like a Mary Kay where you spend $800 and you get none in return. This is awesome. This opportunity is insane. So please run with it for your own sake.
And if you're brand new, don't just timidly sit on the sidelines just waiting for something to happen, waiting for your kit to come in. I was a girl last night, and I bet we have probably 30 messages going on right now with her. She did the post about, hey, I'm a new It Works distributor. I'm looking for 12 product testers. And then I have this, 12 different things or whatever. Mm-hmm. Comment below if you would be interested in being one of my product testers. And I just said, she's like, what do I say to these people? And I was like, just put me in a group message with them. Introduce, tell them you're so excited that they want to be a product tester, but that you're going to add your leader into the message. And, because you're brand new, you just announced on your Facebook you're brand new. So there's nothing wrong with not knowing everything. And I feel like seeing, us talk to them, your leader talk to them, whoever enrolled you talk to them, I feel like that kind of teaches you how to talk to people. And so we've just been doing that. And whenever the first thing I say to them is like, I say, oh my gosh, I am so excited that you want to support Regina and be one of her very first customers. Like it kind of makes them feel like, oh,
they're doing something
I
really
gotta
good.
support them now because she just totally called me out on it. Mm-hmm. And so just don't sit back and wait for things to happen because they're not just going to fall in your lap. You've got to work for it. So
Yep. Here's a logistic tip that I do especially if I have a promotion. Let's say I have an emerald chart and I know that what first thing I'm going to do if I'm pushing for a promotion is I'm going to get out my chart. If you haven't learned your chart yet, I see Mallory in there smiling. I see you. See you, boo. You get out your chart and you look at it and you stare at it and you memorize it and you go through each box. Yep, I see them on your wall. And you find out who's commission qualified. You look at who has orders underneath of them, what their volume is. If you are pushing for Ruby and you don't really know what a Ruby is, don't ask me because there are so many YouTube videos. There is so much information. We've done so many Zooms. You've got to figure this out on your own because again, the more you put into this yourself, the more value you're going to get out of it. The more you learn on your own, the better you're going to be able to teach people. Okay? So learn it. Go figure it out what a Ruby is and make sure that you know how to fill those boxes. My second step is to either print out a paper chart or do it in my back office or do both because again, I'm taking ownership of this. Okay. I'm not just playing around. I'm not just kind of, saying I'm going to do my best. No, here is my chart. Here's what I have left. And this is what I know I have to get done. I have 10 days. Okay. So I'm going to print out my charts. I'm going to put volume next to them. I'm going to put people's names in the boxes. I might print their distributor IDs. There's a chart. Mm-hmm.
I have every single person's name that is on my ambassador chart. Yep. And guys, it's kind of crazy that some of these boxes, like emeralds and diamonds, are like, oh, I have to get my chart. I don't know. I have your chart memorized. Why do you not have your chart memorized? This stuff, you should have these things memorized because, like I said, this, like Erin said, this is your freedom. This is what's going to change your life. So this should be like your, this is like your freedom Bible that is going to save you.
Whenever this goes off, it's, sorry.
I muted again. I'm going to unmute you. Okay. But yeah, like Erin's saying, like you should have these. I mean, I take these, like we ran to Jeff City today to go get some stuff, and like they come in the car with me. So that way when somebody messages me and says, hey, I just signed up a customer, I can say, okay, you need to move it to this person. That was 54 BV. You're only 30 BV short of this person being, you know, at 400 PBV. Like I have it with me all the time because this is what I have to live and breathe by right now for this promotion.
Yep. I am not one that here's my thing. I don't spend 10 hours a day on my charts. I really don't. I don't spend all my time because charting is one piece of a business building activity. I spend my time signing new people. I spend my time blitzing, wrapping, and repeating. Okay. So I spend my time signing new people, teaching new people, finding new customers, helping my new customers like their product, and then I repeat the process. But somewhere along the way, you've got to learn the map, because if you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there, okay? So you have to learn it, and you have to teach it to yourself at some point in time. I'm going to share with you guys, and Ashley talked about her chart, her triple chart. Let's just talk about what has happened to me along the way. So my first promotion to Diamond, my husband was my Emerald, and I had a Ruby. That was Lindsay Oschlager. Somewhere along the way, she got really tired and she pooped out. And then she came back. But by the time she came back, my chart had changed. And so I was no longer able to help her. But you know what? She's kicked ass since then because she's taken complete ownership of her team. I don't even know what happens on her team. She has somebody that recently signed like 15 distributors in the last 3 weeks. And I didn't even realize it because she runs her business completely and solely on her own. Okay. That type of leadership is what your goal has to be. It has to. That's where you're going to make it to the top. Okay. Anybody that I've built along the way and really, I am a leader that I'm a total control freak, and I know Ashley's the same way. I think that that's a good thing, and I think that that's a bad thing. I built a Diamond from scratch for the second time to go triple, and she, I think she maintains executive. We haven't spoken in a really long time, but her team fell apart because she didn't build it. She didn't take ownership of it. I have Diamonds and Double Diamonds who really didn't do much ever since their promotion because they didn't own that. It wasn't important to them. If you haven't done the promotion on your own and suffered through the nitty gritty, if I've built it for you, or if I've been the one behind the scenes calculating all your volume, or if I'm the one memorizing all your rubies and all your executives and all your 400 boxes, then you never know how hard and how exhilarating and how much of an accomplishment this is. You want to get to the end of the month and bawl your eyes out, like cry like there's no tomorrow and jump around because you just worked so freaking hard and you are so proud of yourself and you've accomplished so much that you can't wait to teach your team to do the same. That's the kind of ownership that you're going to have in the next 10 days to make it to the next step and to the next step and to the next step. Okay. So get out your charts, put your names in, get the volume ready, start it going. Now is the time to do that. And then just like Ashley said, get back out your lists. Don't just do your normal follow-up of, are you ready to do this with me? I don't want to see any messages of like, oh shoot, everybody's gone dark. I don't want to, if you send that to me, it means you've given up. Okay. What I want you to send to your leaders is, here's my list. This is what I'm doing. I'm asking for favors. I'm asking for parties. I'm asking for shared posts. I'm asking for people to do online parties. I'm going all out because I'm worth it. There's nothing more special about that team or that person that's going to get that bonus. I'm just as worthy. Okay. So my hundreds list is big and full and crazy, and I'm going to go after it. You're going to ask your grandma Betty to, do a favor for you, and she's finally going to order some relief because her joints hurt, and then she can use her share link. I mean, you're going to get creative because you can do it. You're going to contact all of your current loyal customers and ask them if they'd be willing to help you get your next promotion and order a product. You're going to contact all your loyal customers and talk to them about perk points. Every single person in that whole chart, you can ask about a shared post. Every distributor that you sign, you should be doing group messages with them all day. If you sign a distributor and they don't hear from you on their first day, that's a problem. If you think you're going to have somebody get to be a 400 box for you to get $1,000 bonus, but they don't hear from you on your first day of the business or their second day of the business, it's up to you to show them how excited and driven and crazy your team is, and how much you believe in them. So do voice messages with them all day. Do group messages with them all day, because their network has now become your network. That's a tip that I have for you. Just like Ashley said before, get in some group messages. Handhold your brand newbies until they sign their 4 customers, until they sign their 8 customers. Teach them how to do it on their own, but you make it up to you to help them get their 4. Don't just sign them up and leave them be, because you only have 10 days. And people poop out if they sign up and they just don't really hear much, or if they get a little bit discouraged and you're not there to tell them, don't worry, my grandma said no too, or my mom told me it was a scam too, or my Uncle Larry told me that I had joined a pyramid scheme too. If you're not there for them right at that very beginning, they're going to lose focus and they're going to have that buyer's remorse, and you're never going to hear from them again. So then you're going to be spending the next month finding new people, or telling your leader that none of your team is working, because that team, they're going to poop out. And I've done that. I've been that sponsor where I've signed too many people, or I've been too busy, and so people don't hear from me fast enough, and then I've lost them. You know what I mean? 10 days. What else can we do, Ashley? What else can we do if we need volume, if we need boxes filled, if we want to help? If I'm going diamond and I need my last ruby to get that bonus, how do I push her to get out of her comfort zone?
I mean, I think it's just a matter, again, it kind of goes back to that you can't make somebody want it more. If they're not doing it, they're not doing it. You may have to do it because it's your promotion on the line. They may not care that much about that promotion. They may not see the vision yet, but I think it's just reaching out to them. And I mean, you got to flat out push people, but don't spend your time dwelling on somebody that doesn't want it as bad as you. Move on. One thing that I always think of Courtney Labby from conference talking on stage about how she's like this itty bitty tiny little blonde, and she's up there talking about how her dad is a farmer and their heifer just was not producing the way that it was supposed to. And she finally just said, Dad, find a new heifer. And it's kind of like, as dumb as that sounds, like, if the people on your team aren't doing stuff, then freaking find a new heifer. Move on. Quit. That's dragging you down. It's going to burn you out, and you're not going to want to keep doing the business. So find somebody new. But if you're pushing for like these end of the month bonuses or end of the month promotions, sometimes you just have to get down and dirty, and you have to do the work and move on past those people at the end of the month. And they may they're going to lose out then, because somebody's going to replace them because they chose not to, put in the work or the effort. But the shared posts are huge. Growing your network is huge. Finding new people. Don't just dwell on the same hundreds list. If nobody's jumping, if you message all 100 people tomorrow on your hundreds list and nobody does anything, that doesn't mean put your hundreds list away and close your computer and go to bed. That means you need to find 10, 15, 20 new people to start talking to. You need to constantly be growing your network every day. The shared post is an amazing opportunity to do that, because you're getting somebody to share a status for you and telling them, if you don't know what a shared post is, you're telling them like, okay, this is what I want you to share. Here's the picture you're going to post. Tag me in it. Tag at least, I tell them at minimum 10 friends. The more you tag, the better odds you have of getting a free product or whatever from me. Mm-hmm. But then they're going to share that for you. Every single person that likes or comments on that, you need to friend request. You need to message and talk to them and say, hey, you commented on Julie's status, and I'm the person that's, hooking Julie up with some products, and I would love to talk to you about them. Have you ever heard of It Works before? Open up. They've already, commented on that status. So they're opening up the door for you to come in and talk. So that's a huge way to grow your network and sign people quick. If you do, and you may do 10 shared posts and not have any luck, but that 11th one, may just totally, like we hear people all the time. And I remember Aaron used to say this a lot when we used to do a ton of shared posts, or when we kind of first started doing them, I guess, that people would say, oh, shared posts aren't working for me. No, you're not working them hard enough, because they work. They truly do work. You just have to do them enough. And one thing that Mark said at conference one time, or green carpet, I think it was, we had like auditory seating, and all of VIP was sitting down in the middle, and everybody in general admission could look down into VIP. And he said the only thing different between you guys sitting in general admission and people sitting in VIP is just that they've done it more. And that's so true. We've wrapped more people. We've messaged more people. We've done more parties. We've, added more friends on Facebook, whatever it is. It's just because we've done it more. So that just means that you need to increase your numbers. It's all a numbers game.
Yeah, truly. I mean, there are statistics in this business that say when you first start, your percentage of yeses might be about 10%. That's a really common percentage, which means if you ask 10 people, you're going to get 1 to say yes. If you ask 100 people, you're going to get 10. So you know that to build a Ruby, and again, this bonus is up to you. It's not up to your executive. It's not up to your team. You're there to help support your team and kick them off and pray that the first person you sign is as excited as you are. But again, we're taking ownership, So let's say your goal is to get to Ruby, and you're just going to sign all 5. You're going to sign all 5 of those distributors. And if your percentage is 10%, that means that you have to ask 50, not 8, not 9, not 4, 50. So again, if your sponsor messages you and you have 2 potentials, the percentage of you signing 1 is zilch. Your percentage is 10%, which means you're going to sign 0.2 people. Doesn't count. Doesn't fill a box. Not going to get their 4 customers. That's the name of this game. When I started doing shared posts, people get a little bit annoyed because like she said, they do 1 post and it doesn't get a lot of hits. Just think about when you joined. When you joined and nobody liked your post or nobody commented or whatever, but then you kept doing them and people started catching on. You're going to have 1 out of 10 people that do a shared post for you, and you're going to get 14 people interested. It's the time of the day. It's luck of the draw. It's who their network is. And again, every single time you do that, you've opened yourself up to 1,000 new Facebook friends, or 400 new Facebook friends, or 4,000. A lot of times, if I do a specific post, I'll get several comments and a whole bunch of likes, and people say, well, you just have a bigger network. No, I've built that network. I started out this business with not even 1,000 Facebook friends, and I now have 4,000 something. But that was me actively building that for 3 years. And I don't look at those 3 years as a sacrifice. I look at them as an investment. When I have this baby, I've had a lot of people say, well, are you going to work? Are you going to just keep working because you don't really get a maternity leave? Well, yeah, I'm going to be on the next Zoom as long as I'm not heavily medicated. And, I'll be breastfeeding this baby while I'm on this Zoom, and you're not going to see it, but I'm going to be doing it because I love you guys and I love this business. And this business is the reason that I get to do this. It's not a sacrifice. It's an investment. So if you look at it as a sacrifice, if you look at it as something that just exhausts you, then again, you won't make it. Look at it as an investment to get you so far past your current circumstances that messaging 20 new people is no big deal. No big deal, because you're investing in your future. Helping your newbies, being a little bit exhausted, getting a little flustered is worth it, because it's investing in a kick-ass future that is just not going to happen unless you do something about it. We're not digging ditches. This is not construction work. This is from our phones, from Facebook, while our kids are napping, while our kids are asleep, while we're driving. It's not easy. It can be exhausting and frustrating, but it's not digging ditches. And we make so much more income than what, the nurses that I go to get my baby delivered with, have to work 12-hour shifts overnight and be away from their babies. Ashley used to have to drop her kid off in a parking lot with her husband so that she could go take care of people like me. And now she makes a gazillion more dollars a month than she did doing that, saving people like me,
Make more than the doctors now.
Yeah.
Joke's on you.
Here's your bedside manner. How was that? Remember that one time that you talked to me like that? Well, yeah. No. So pull out all the stops, you guys. 10 days. We did the same exact kind of message last month because it's so worth it. We're still in the beginning of busy season. We're still in it, you know. It's long-term investment. It's big picture thinking. You accomplish one goal this month, you will roll into the next month. But if you quit now, if you stop now and kind of throw it, and I'm seeing it, I'm seeing people stop. I'm seeing people poop out. I'm seeing people start to make excuses. And that's okay, but it just means that you're not going to get to your goal. You know, you just won't. Somebody else will, because they'll take the next 240 hours and literally they will call their grandma. But if you won't, and if it's too much for you, then it just is not going to happen. And that just makes me sad, but it makes me really happy when you decide, no, this is going to be me. It is my time. I am worth it. My family is worth it. My dreams are worth it. And I'm not just going to get ruby. I'm going to get emerald. And in fact, I'm going to get emerald, but I'm going to get close to diamond because next month I'm going to get whatever they announce next month is mine. You know, the more momentum that you build right now, the better the next month will be, and the next month and the next month. All right, so it looks like we have some good questions happening. Do we want to finish this out with questions? Does anybody have any questions on what exactly to do over the next 10 days to just finish this out as strong as possible?
And you can either type it or you can unmute yourself and just talk if you want to.
Whose boxes are filled? Who's just looking for volume? Julie. I'm going to tell a story about Julie really fast. Okay, so Julie Sabata is on our team. She is, oh good, we have some questions coming through. I'm so glad. She did a post the other day, and I totally missed it until today. But so she did this post. She had a friend sign up at the very beginning, and I know that a lot of you are in this situation. She had this friend sign up. The friend never really did much, and it literally kind of broke her heart because she believed in this person. The business kind of actually got between them. She said that she would message her, and the lady was like getting mad, and so eventually she just stopped messaging her about It Works. You all have that friend who joined the business with you, and then decided that you're the Antichrist and that It Works sucks and they hate you. We all have that friend that has like gotten really awkward because they signed up in the business and then they've done nothing. So Julie said that she just left her alone with It Works and just recreated that relationship and they just maintained friends. They were there for each other. But what also happened is that Julie never gave up. Julie has worked her butt off. She does videos on her Facebook. She private messages. She blitzes. She does parties. I see her doing all of it. She's very busy. She's got a no BS attitude and she's just stuck with it and done a lot of it on her own. Well, suddenly this friend decided to come back into the business and has since then, since like February 28th, signed how many distributors, Lindsay? Like 11 or 12?
Yeah, it's like 10 or 11.
Yeah. So in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, has not only racked it out. I mean, this girl is amazing, and we're gonna talk to her tomorrow night, hopefully. But it's changed Julie's whole business because Julie didn't give up. So if you guys have that group or have that person that you believed in so much and you were so excited and you guys were gonna partner together and you were gonna do this and conquer the world, and then suddenly that friend hates It Works. It's okay. Just keep going. She might not ever come back, but she might, and she might come back with a vengeance. So now, Julie just needs volume for emerald and 1 DT away from diamond. I had a meeting with her less than 2 months ago, and she needed like 14 distributors for diamond or 17. It was something crazy, and she knew she was going to do it, but now she's won. So don't give up. Keep going. Push harder than your whole team. And if you are a runner, you will attract runners. If you're a walker, you'll attract walkers. If you're half-assing this, you're going to find people that half-ass it. That's literally the law of attraction, is that what you put out in the universe, if you're there to be everybody's friend, but you're not really there to work the business, you're going to find some friends that think that they're going to post on Facebook every other day and sign some people. If you're there to really do this for real, you're going to attract people that really want to do this for real,
And Katie has been having every Thursday night, she has like a big wine party at her house where she has all of her distributors come, and she signed last week like 2 distributors from it. She like cooks all this meat, and yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Those weekly parties are where it's at.
Yeah.
You don't have to cook meat.
Yeah, we just like had like 8 distributors at my house last week, and everybody brought like just a small appetizer. I had some protein shakes made up, and it was super simple and super easy, and it was fun. And we just blasted. We only had 2 potentials come, but we signed one as a customer and one as a distributor. But there were 10 of us at my house. Not everybody knew that the other 8 were distributors.
Exactly.
We just blasted all over Facebook how much fun we had. And hey, guess what? We're doing it again this week. Like, if you missed your chance, you can come next week. But there's only 10 spots. Like, make it look limited and fun, and just, if nothing else, it's a training for your distributors.
Exactly. We started those in Kansas City a month ago. And the first one, we had probably 10, 15 distributors there and 2 guests. One of the guests signed up. She's rocking it out. She's got her 120 in free product. She signed her first distributor. She's well on her, pushing for Ruby. I think the team that showed up was super excited. But guess what? The next time, 1 person showed up from my team. Stephanie's team was busier. With those kind of events, you have to get there. You have to physically get your body there. You got to go up to show up. It's literally how I feel about this business. So even if you don't have guests, if your leader is hosting something, get your butt there. Here's another thing that I will just be real tough love about. If I'm offering trainings, or if I'm offering opportunities and I'm offering Zooms and I'm trying to, do whatever I can to work with you, and then you don't show up to them, I'm not going to do one-on-one. I will not. So it's the same thing as you attract what you are to external people. You're going to attract, you're going to use that law of attraction in your business too. So if you're signing people and you're working your butt off, you're going to get noticed, and you're going to get a lot more love and a lot more one-on-one and a lot more true fostering of growth, because that's what I love to work with. I want to work with passionate people who are in it, who are on it, who are showing me what they've learned in the 24 hours that we haven't been talking. You know what I mean? So show up to go up. And I promise you, those events, Ashley's going to have those at her house. And in the next probably 6 months, there will be 50 people there, because that's how those events go when people show up. And if your only goal is to get 1 guest there, probably 9 times out of 10, that guest is going to sign up, because your leader, Ashley, is going to help you sign them. She's going to tell them flat out, you have to do this. I make more than the doctors that I used to work at the hospital that I was at. So you need to do this and give it a shot, because she's really confident. Your leaders are really confident. So anytime they have something like this, show up, just like you're on this Zoom tonight. I see 50 people and I love it. I love seeing those 50 people. Show up to go up. And that's how I feel about it. 10 days left, One last thing I will say, that truly, if it is my month to promote, I'm going to be the rock star. I'm going to be the one that is blowing it up. If you think that you're going to go diamond or double or whatever the case may be, and you're just waiting on your team to finish their promotions, never going to happen ever. You have to man it. You have to be a crazy control freak. You have to know every dollar in your whole chart. So that like she said, when they sign a customer, you know exactly where to put them. 100%. Those brand new rubies, those brand new executives, the moment they sign 40 BV, you know where that 40 BV is going to go, because you've already thought about it. And you've already placed 3 distributors that are going to go here, and you already know what the next plan is. Because again, so worth it. It's yours.
Really great.
I love the weekly parties. We're trying to build a local team. We're kind of sucking at it thus far. I'll tell you that.
Well, you maybe have a little bit going on.
I mean, I really just need to get the baby out.
I was really expecting you in the hospital bed.
No, and he's a lot more active now because he has a little space. Like, I haven't had these kind of kicks or little rolls because he's been so freaking cramped in my stretched out stretch mark body. Like, I'm going to post a disgusting picture and I don't even care, because when people talk about how the wraps are like a cheat, oh, really? Look at this. Because thank God I sell wraps is all I have to say, and not something else. Candles are not going to help what's happening here.
Candles that have jewelry in them, that won't help you?
No, bags, not going to help this. No, he ripped me above my belly button. Precious. Or a deep magenta.
Fun.
Yep, but we sell wraps, so I'm good to go. Oh, man. Nicole's on it. We've got some people on it tonight. All right, who else has questions?
I don't know how to do questions.
No questions? Are you guys fired up? Do you love the busy season? Do you love? I think you scared Nate from wanting to have kids. He doesn't. Have him watch the video of women giving birth, or of the men trying to give birth with the simulators. Funniest thing I ever saw.
Or that god-awful video that Paige posted on your wall.
Oh my God, with the pictures of like the marconium everywhere and like his little, I was like, oh my God. It's
a breech delivery. Yeah, you're not having one of those.
And I wonder why I've had anxiety.
Yeah.
Yep. No thanks. Yeah, she was like, I forgot how intense that was. Yeah. That was
a breech vaginal delivery is a little different. I've never seen one. So they don't happen anymore.
Nope, I don't want to at all. Thank God they don't happen anymore. All right, I'm looking at any questions. Are you guys fired up? Are you excited? Do you love the busy season? Do you feel like anybody who's been in it before February has to tell the people who are new to run, because this is the time to run? I want somebody else to say, you have no idea. Start asking people to become a distributor. Oh, heck no.
Literally, you have no idea. Every promotion happens now.
January through July.
Yes. One of mine was in March, and then the other one was in June. Well, I mean, my big ones.
Mm-hmm.
But
every time I've promoted in the business, it's been March, April, May, and February, March, April, May, and then again in April, and now this month in March. So every single promotion I've done in this business has been in this like 5 to 6 month period. So this is the time that your business can just absolutely explode.
Yep. One thing I will say is tonight before you go to bed, look at this month thus far, look at what you've accomplished, look at what you've done, and ask yourself if that is the level that you need to be at to finish out this month at the goal that you need to make. Are you going at the pace that you need to make? How much volume do you have to have by the end of this month? And then split it up by days. If you're 1,000 away from your next promotion and you have 10 days, then you need 100 BV every single day. And you be in charge of that. Go find a system. Sell a system every day if you have 1,000 left. Break this down day by day by day. And then be surprised and excited when your team accomplishes it with you. You know, give them their goals. Tell them how much they have left every day with an update. You know, I don't mind calling people out on being top recruiters and showing people who's working. I mean, truly, like, the proof is in the pudding. You know, if you're not enrolling people, that means that I know that you're not following up with people, because this business is not magic. It's not something that I don't have the special touch. I don't, because I give you all the messages that I use. So take the last 20 days and see what you've done and see if that's enough. And if it's not, then pump up the volume, y'all. Conference. I mean, it's technically not even compliant to not charge someone for the wrap at a party just because they signed as a customer. You technically cannot have any sort of what's the word for it, Ashley? You can't
Bribery.
You can't bribe someone to be a customer by saying then you get a free wrap. What you can do is wrap giveaways where they do a drawing. What we got shared posts from is Cammie Dempsey at her parties gets to the party and says, before we even start, I'm going to have you guys get out your phones and you're going to add me on Facebook. Don't worry, I'll accept. She acts like she's pretty cool for school there. And then what they're going to do is they're going to post on their Facebook, I am so excited to get my sexy back. I'm at a wrap party, something, 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 whatever you want them to post. And that's basically like a shared post. It's just like it. Take a selfie with it, take a picture with the group, and then whoever gets the most likes and or comments gets the free wrap. Do something like that versus if you sign as a loyal customer, you get the free wrap. And I like to make cash. Just taking compliance out of it. I want to leave a party. Parties are exhausting. Parties make me sweaty. Parties are what get me out of my house at night. Parties are where you have to deal with like the weird aunt that's like going to grill you sometime. You know what I'm saying? So make it worth your while and go home with $100 in your pocket, and then post about it on your Facebook.
Yeah, hold that cash up, show it to your husband because your husband might be annoyed that you missed bath time and dinner time and bedtime. And when you can show that, you walked away with that. You can go do a party in an hour or 2 or 3, however long it is. Where are you getting paid $50 or $30 an hour at another job to go work for just a couple of hours to come home? So
on your own schedule, you planned it. You made the time, no experience needed. Fake it as you make it.
Well, and I think a lot of people, I know one reason I was so hesitant about doing parties is because I thought it was going to be this, like, I don't know, stand in front of a crowd, everybody stare at you awkwardly. I don't even do that anymore, guys. Even at the thing I did last Wednesday, being at the level that I'm at, I'm completely confident in what I'm doing, but it's not that it's awkward for me to stand in front of people anymore, but I feel like it's awkward for the people that are there. Yeah. So I literally stood on one side of my kitchen island and they sat on the bar stools around it. And we all just kind of like hung around and talked and talked about the party pad, like while we sat there and talked and tried products and goofed around. And like, it was totally nonchalant and nothing intimidating, nothing crazy. Sit down at somebody's kitchen table with, 4 or 5 people. Sit down on the couch next to them. You don't have to stand up in front of their TV, with them all sitting, awkwardly staring at you. One tip I got from Amy Spence is when you're going through the product catalog, first off, give them like a steps to success sheet and just flip it over so it's the blank side. And when you're going through the products, say if one of these products I talk about, if it's somebody that you think like somebody that could really use one of the products I talk about, for instance, if you've got a friend that's pregnant and do you think that they could really use the stretch mark cream? I want you to write their names down. So at the end, she's got these people where they've wrote down people's names where they're like, oh, Joe could use this and Susan could use this. And oh my gosh, Sarah always talks about how bad she needs money or her car's breaking down or she's a single mom or, whatever. So literally then when you talk about the business, you can flip over the steps to success and be like, okay, you've already wrote names in these boxes. You could do this business. And I think that is just such a good tip of showing people how, simple that it really can be and that they really actually could truly do this business. So,
Yep. I also think, I did a ton of parties and parties don't have to be intimidating. Just like she said, I sit on the floor most of the time, especially even if people are sitting in chairs, I get lower than them. Because I never want it to feel like it's a presentation for them. I want it to feel like it's super casual. I hold that party pad and I basically say exactly what's on it with a little bit of my personal story in it, with a little bit of stuff and a little bit of fluff. And I bring my own personality in it. But for the most part, I stay on that party pad because that makes it replicatable. Everything I teach you is going to be kind of the same thing over and over and over again. It's not going to be more complicated. If you're talking to a potential, for example, and you ask me what you should say to her, I'm going to give you the same answer today that I give you next week with the next potential, because we want you to make it replicatable. It's the same as at a party. You want to make it nonchalant. You want to stick with the party pad because whoever is there needs to see that it's simple and that they can do it. You don't have to be fancy schmancy. You don't have to have a fancy presentation. You don't have to have all the right words. You don't have to have a suitcase full of stuff. You don't have a gazillion bags. You have your little party pad. That's it. You know, products that I use being pregnant. We have a list of safe products. I use all the skincare. I use the greens. The greens are not technically on our safe list, so I never tell any pregnant women, like, yes, go use the greens. I tell them to ask their doctor, but my doctor was super excited about them and approved them immediately. They helped me with my heartburn. And I use the stretch mark cream. Clearly, it's not really working that well, but it's because I have a 100-pound baby. Breastfeeding, same thing. There's a list of safe stuff for breastfeeding. It's basically skincare is what I usually recommend. I usually say I take the greens. My doctor has approved of the greens, but before you do it, please ask your doctor. We never want to give medical advice. Even if you're a nurse, don't do it. We want to protect our golden goose. We want to protect our product. And so that's just what I say is skincare. Ask your doctor for the rest of it. Because I have had some people that Dr. So-and-so said they could take Confianza, stuff like that. I just never want to say take Confianza, ever. I never want to say that for diabetes. What do I tell a patient who has, this disease? Ooh, well, have them ask their doctor. Because we're It Works distributors. We're not coaches. We're not nutritionists. We're not physicians. Anybody else have any questions? Feel good? I see lots of people working. I love it. Yeah, the party stuff. Here's another tip that I have that I'm kind of pushing people towards a lot lately is that if you have questions about how do I do a party, how do I do an expo, how do I do et cetera, I'm going to send you to YouTube and I'm going to send you to our team page because there are so many videos. Leaders have gotten so much more one team, one mission about how they're training that you can look up It Works Expo and find 8 videos from top leaders on how to do an expo. You can look up It Works Sample Party, It Works Wrap Party, and find 15 examples on wrap parties. Ashley Sinclair has an amazing wrap party. Ashley Olive has an amazing wrap party video. There are top leaders. And so absolutely, start utilizing that stuff. Make it your goal to watch one YouTube video a day from a top leader while you're on lunch break, while you're messaging people. Don't spend your entire business just training because, training is, you have to use the knowledge that you have, but I'm glad that you guys like the party stuff. There's a ton of really, really, really good party information. Hey, you're welcome. We're adored. Okay, well, let's stop this unless anybody else has any questions. And we'll just keep doing these on Monday nights. We kind of flip around the time based on our availability. So thank you guys for being patient with that. It really helps us. You guys can go in and out and mute. We can't. So we really appreciate the flexibility. So anybody else have any last minute questions before we end? 10 days. Big promotions.
All right.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Oh, come on, baby. How about that? Whew. Yeah, pray for me. Get that baby out.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.